Hey y'all, this is Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich, here in my rave coat because it's freezing cold in New York. And I'm here to tell you to go on YouTube and subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Hustle Zone and check out all of their videos. They post quite frequently, and I would suggest you guys check them out, subscribe, like, and share their content.
What's up, everybody? This is Mickie Davis, April Black, and welcome back to April Black Experience right here on the PW Hustle Zone and on the PWC Network. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you for Wasn't Dynamite, aka the Wasn't Death Wish, Monster Slam Wish, Impact Wrestling Knockout, for that shout out to the PW Hustle, or as he put it, the Pro Wrestling Hustle Zone. And I ain't mad because, hey, it's Monster Slam Wish. She's one of the baddest businesses in independent wrestling right now. So how can I complain about that? How can I complain about her saying pro wrestling and not PW? I mean, come on now. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is my early thoughts, or my early predictions, if you will, for the Royal Rumble and the Royal Rumble matches for men and women, and the lack of build-up to this match that a lot of people, including H.R. Brown, wanted to see for many years, and he feels like the lack of build of this match is kind of killing the vibe and the excitement of this match. So I'm gonna talk about that. I also talk about the people that might be making a surprise appearances at the Rumble match, because we already know a certain knockout making her way to the Rumble match with the Knockout Championship with her Knockouts Empire Wrestling theme song. So we are gonna talk about that, along with other forbidden door of madness that's going on in pro wrestling and other promotions. But with that being said, let's get to it. First of all, talk about the madness that is the forbidden door, the multiverse of wrestling, if you will. Now, we all know that Empire Wrestling has been the king of this whole forbidden door wrestling multiverse madness. And the reason why I say that is they're bringing in they working with all promotions. They work with AEW, they were kind of lackluster. They're working with Ring of Honor. They're working supposedly they're working with WWE, because it was announced a couple weeks ago that Mickie James, the current Knockouts World Champion, is going to be entering the WWE Royal Rumble match, the Women's Royal Rumble match. And to hear Mickie James be announced for the match and have her be acknowledged as the Knockout Champion in pro wrestling, and also having Pat McAfee with that jab of, they were garbage, because it was Mickie James that had her stuff sent back to her house in a garbage bag. And they fired the guy that did it, the jackass that you see arguing with the woman from Total Divas, Mark, whatever the hell. But one thing you need to know, he's a mark for himself. That's all you need to know. And he got fired, and Mickie probably be like, that wasn't good enough. So WWE was like, okay, how about we give you a spot at Royal Rumble match? And Mickie James probably like, sure, why not? And the fact that she coming out, she confirmed that she's coming out with the Knockout Championship, and she confirmed she's coming out to her theme song, the Empire Wrestling, hardcore country, and it's like that's huge. I mean, like, it's gonna be nice to hear that theme song in the arena in for a WWE show. Like, that's gonna be crazy. I think I prefer that theme song over the WWE theme song she had in WWE. I mean, Obsession. I get what they're trying to do, because he was obsessed with Trish Stratus and the thing. I mean, it was a bubbly theme song. I get it, but having her theme song in Impact being played and head into the Royal Rumble match, that's gonna be pretty cool. So I'm happy for Mickie James. I don't care if she's gonna be in a match for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. I gotta be excited to see her in the women's match next week, I believe. Sticking with Impact Wrestling, um, what happened at Hard to Kill a couple weeks ago? We saw Ring of Honor have getting their sign on at the pay per view. He had John Gresham, Dr. Pussy, defending the Ring of Honor World Championship. There was no championship, by the way, because Randy is still the current champion because he couldn't defend that from Ryan Balor because of obvious reasons, you know. Um, but you had him defending the championship against Chris Sabin, which was a title shot he earned back in 2018 when he was in Ring of Honor with Alex Telly at the Morris State Machine Guns. You also had him be in a faction alongside John Gresham and Leo Was, Jay White called Seek and Destroy. So that was pretty cool having him get that title shot. You know, he wasn't able to get it back in 2018. I think he was injured at the time, but pretty cool that they gave him that shot, and it was a pretty damn good match. But later on in the show, we had Ring of Honor participating at Hard to Kill to invading Hard to Kill, because after the 10-man hardcore war, when Heath Slater, Rhino, Willie Mack, Rich Swann, and Eddie over won, they got attacked by Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Vincent, and PCO. And Marie Canal was watching on because wherever Mike Bennett goes, she goes. And they gotta be known as Honor No More. And I don't know, they all signed to the company. I know PCO was signed to the company because it was announced last week that he was signed to the company after being a free agent for a while. This is an odd couple. We know that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett have been a team for years. Matt Taven and Vincent have been feeding for a few months during the summer, during 2021. And they also were part of Matt Taven's version of the Kingdom. And PCO is just there. He's just there. He's basically the odd man out. He was part of the Villain Enterprises. With he who signed out be named on the channel with Boy King and and now he's with this group, basically the Kingdom. He part of the Kingdom now, pretty much. I know Bennett and Taven all called it OGK now, but call whatever you want. It's the Kingdom, and it's kind of weird having him be part of a faction where you have two guys who were part of the Kingdom, the original Kingdom, the first version of the Kingdom, and you have Vincent, who was the Horror King. He was part of the Rises group in Ring of Honor. He's currently 1/3 of the Ring of Honor six-man champions, and it's weird pairing, but I get where they're coming from. It's just they're not really friends or foes for that matter. They just have a common goal and just evade Impact Wrestling and destroy everyone and get to their way. But we go from that to the championship match that happened last week on Impact involving Roxy and Deanna Prasso. Roxy was the Ring of Honor Women's Champion until she got beat by Deanna Prasso, and now Deanna Prasso is now the Reina champion for AAA and the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and looks like this partnership is going very well with it now. When you go from Ring of Honor being the best boy jobber to New Japan to possibly being the best boy jobber to Impact Wrestling, but I can't be mad about that because Deanna Prasso has been one of the best wrestlers in the world. She was in my top 10, my favorite wrestlers, the top women wrestler last year, 2021. She is that damn good. In fact, it still boggles my mind that WWE did not use her to enter her full potential because this chick is good. And she may have been both Hard to Kill and Impact Wrestling back to back, and you can't knock that. She two-time knockout champion, Reina champion, Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Like, the chick is good, and I can't wait to see who gonna be challenging for that belt first. The Ring of Honor Women's Championship. Is it gonna be Chelsea Green? Because as you know, Chelsea Green was in Ring 1 for a short period of time. She was on commentary for a little bit, and she wrestled a couple matches there. And they're gonna be interested to see if they have the former tag team partners in the NXT. You know, they weren't used on TV as a tag team in NXT. They were supposed to be tag team partners there. They're gonna be interested to see if they had that match happen between Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo, because they're gonna be an interesting match if they do have that match for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. But that's just me wishful thinking. And now we gotta talk about the news that broke yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning about Cody Rhodes being a free agent, and actually he's been a free agent since the end of 2021. And he's still the current TNT champion, the real TNT champion, not that piece of shit that Samuel Ward's holding. Tay Conti, I mean the interim TNT championship. But now, rumors speculating about him being the one that making a surprise appearance, being the other guy that steps foot inside the wrestling multiverse, the forbidden door, and entering the men's Royal Rumble match the next Sunday, because that's the rumor that's going on right now. And I hate to break it to you guys, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, I know people want to see that so bad, and see how many people are gonna react when he comes out, and is he gonna be coming out to the many variations of Cody Rhodes? Is he gonna be coming out to dashing Cody Rhodes? Is he gonna be coming out to undashing Cody Rhodes? Or he could be coming out to Stardust. Either way, if he does come out to a Royal Rumble match, it's gonna be interesting to see which variant he's gonna come out to, because this again, the wrestling multiverse is going around right now, just like COVID. But that's another story for another day. But it's rumors speculating that about someone for AEW making an appearance in the Royal Rumble match, in the men's Royal Rumble match. But it broke yesterday that AEW had no involvement in the Royal Rumble. So what the hell is going on there? And it's funny how when AEW had their partnership with Impact Wrestling, they didn't send no knockouts. AEW didn't want any knockouts on AEW. AEW didn't even bother. They didn't even try to bring in their women to Impact Wrestling. Like, people want to say, oh well, Thunder Rosa came out at Slammiversary. She was still technically in with NWA when she came out to face Deonna Purrazzo. But and the reason why I know that, because she was not Deonna Purrazzo, and after the match, Mickie James came out and talked about the NWA All Women Show Empowered, and she officially signed with the company. The Thunder Rosa signed in AEW literally days ago on her birthday. So she wasn't AEW bound when she came out to challenge Deonna Purrazzo at Slammiversary. She was still with NWA. So that doesn't count. The fact that Impact Wrestling was willing to work with WWE to bring in the Mickie James to Royal Rumble is like, why did AEW didn't bother working with Impact, having some of their knockouts like Jordan Grace, Rosemary, Deonna Purrazzo coming to AEW, and same with AEW can bring in their chicks to Impact, like a Britt Baker or Carlosita, Serena Deeb, you could have easily done that, but you didn't choose to. But it's gonna be interesting to see who comes out, and anyone for AEW gonna come out, like a former WWE superstar from AEW comes out to the Royal Rumble match. Could be Cody Rhodes, could be Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, could be Chris Jericho, or hell, could be Paul White, Big Show, and everybody will be very excited for that. Before I go, I want to quickly talk about the build up to the match that so many people wanted to see for years. I had to hear H.R. Brown talk about this match happening for fucking years. That was me being on the show with him, talk about this match, or me listen to a podcast like him on it, and he mentioned that he wanted to see this match so much. Of course, I'm talking about Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship, which is happening next week at the Royal Rumble. And this build-up fucking sucks. That's the only way I can put it. The build-up sucks. And I thought we got to see these guys going at it, just beating the crap out of each other, and Bobby Lashley getting an upper hand on Brock Lesnar this whole feud. I mean, we seen him getting the upper hand at day one. Hit him with a spear in the barricade, hit him with a spear in the ring, almost tap him out or have him Brock pass out with her hurt lock. We haven't seen Brock Lesnar getting any payback on Brock Lashley ever since. And like I wanted to see Brock Lesnar hit him with an F5 or something, have like blindside with F5, like call it even for once before that match at the Royal Rumble. But we didn't get any of that. And like part of me doesn't want them to touch before like next week on Wall. We just have them have a stare down, like a face off. But then again, I don't want to see that either. Cause I don't want to see Brock Lesnar embarrassing Brock Lesnar on the microphone again, like he did last week with the whole that whole not joke, like knock who's there, Bobby who exactly. That was just a jab at Bobby Lashley, and not to make it worse, Brock Lesnar calling him a Bobby Lashley wannabe. Not just Brock, but part of him calling him a Brock Lesnar wannabe 2 weeks in a row. It's like, I get it, he's a black Brock Lesnar, he's Black Lesnar, like H.R. Brown will call him. But like, calling him a Brock Lesnar wannabe it's not really that big of a diss, because people have been making that comparison for years, including H.R. Brown. And having this career with perspective, last night on Raw, having Brock Lesnar being, having his career status on like talk about, former champion from WWE and in the UFC, and Bobby Lashley just like, he left WWE, went to MMA, and came back to WWE. Not even mention the fact that he was in Impact Wrestling. Like, you literally mentioned Mickie James being in Impact Wrestling, and being in Impact Wrestling. You mentioned her being a knockout world champion, but you don't bother to mention Bobby Lashley being a former Impact World Champion, having him hold all the championships at one point. You don't even mention that. Like, because I know Bobby Lashley's not going to win that Royal Rumble. We all know this. I mean, I know A.J. Brown wanted to see him win, but he's not going to win. Especially if they keep on building up this match between Brock and Woman for title, or Brock and Rollins title for title. But like, at least have Bobby Lashley be, at least have him feel like he had a chance. I don't feel like he had a chance to win this match at all. Like, sure, he continued to be dominant here and there, but like, I cannot get over the fact that you have Bob Lesnar, who is not known for being good on the microphone, pretty much beating Bobby Lashley on the microphone. Like, Bobby Lashley not good on the microphone either, but he got better on the microphone when he was in Impact Wrestling. And the fact that he had Bobby Lashley get owned by Bobby Lesnar is embarrassing. And hopefully this match makes up of the poor build up, because that's what it's gonna say this whole build up. People gonna forget about how bad the build up is. We have a great match between Bobby Lashley and Bobby Lesnar. I don't care if the match is 5 minutes long. I don't care if it's 15 minutes long. Let this match be a bar burner of a match, having them beat the living shit out of each other, and just have them go out and just beat the crap out of each other. Have Lashley hit him with spears in the ring and spear him through a barricade again. Have Bobby Lashley taking Lashley to Suplex City and hit him with a couple of F5s and Kimura locks and hurt locks. Like, let this be a freaking brawl. Like hell, I'll say it on YouTube. Have Biggie, just like Biggie would say, big mean man's life and me. Let's see that shit at the Royal Rumble. Let's see that. Let's see it happen. Because it's gonna make up to the poor build up of this feud between Lashley and Lesnar. But that's all I got to say about that. Let me know down below what your thoughts on the Royal Rumble. What do you think? Who you think gonna be making surprise appearances at the Royal Rumble, both the men and the women? Who you think win the World Championship match between Lashley and Lesnar, Reigns and Rollins? You name it. Who you got at the Rumble? I know it's week early, but I don't care. Who you got at the Rumble? What are your expectations for Royal Rumble? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, tap the bell, and you don't miss any of my videos. Listen to us on the PVC Network. Make sure you check out all the shows that are available on the feed. Really nice experiments, Friday Night Corners, Homeboy 88 podcast, the PUR podcast, and all the other podcasts that are available on the PUC network. So that being said, I'm Mickie Davis, Black. I'm out.